Hey, hi everybody. I'm Anna, and I am a compulsive overeater. I have the pleasure to choose 3 weighed and measured meals from the Cambridge Grey Sheet. I write those meals down. I commit them to my sponsor. I don't eat anything in between, no matter what, and God and abstinence are the most important things in my life. So, and my abstinence date is the 6th of February, 2023. So I am absolutely a compulsive overeater. I'm a bit of a, well, not a bit, I'm a compulsive everything. And in abstinence, I am really discovering that about myself with the guidance of a higher power. My life, I thought, was manageable. But that was because I wonder that was because I was so in the food. Well, I don't wonder, I think I know this. I was at my highest weight. I carried my suit of armor, and I was heavy, and I was 23.5 stone at my heaviest of when I put myself on the scales. But I think for me, I was also heavy on the inside, heavy-hearted, heavy with feeling, heavy with my thinking. I was obsessive, and I still am. Some of those things haven't gone. What has gone at the moment, and I am so grateful to GreySheet and all its tools for this, is the pounds have come off, and I am in a healthy BMI for the first time in my life. Possibly I was there as a teenager. I think I was. I was conceived an addict. I was conceived a food addict. I just believe that. I just am through and through. And my life, I suppose today, one of the things I'm going with the flow. One of the things I tend to do is I overplan, and I'm a perfectionist, and I'm compulsive about everything. So I haven't planned today. I thought about it today, and then I began to write things down, and I was like, just let it go, Anna. Just let it be and see what comes. But one of the things I never did as soon as I left home was I never looked at my eating, and I never looked at myself in the mirror. I couldn't see myself. I just ate and ate and ate and ate. And I ate myself to 23.5 stone, and it would have kept on going. I did things, and I still believe I could. Today, I have no idea in my head that this has gone. I would steal food. All I would think about was food. And when my next meal was coming, I would eat anything that was in front of me and more. I would unwrap things and then hide those things that we don't eat, hide those wrappers around the house. I was about age 13, 14 when I did that. I would, in my 20s, I spent, and my 30s, the amount of money that I spent on food because I had what I thought was disposable income. I would order takeaway after takeaway, and I wouldn't order it from just one shop. It would be, London is this is where I live. I don't mind. It's amazing. It's amazing for GreySheeters, but it's amazing for a compulsive overeater. because you can get anything and anything any time of day. Thank you, Joel. I needed that. Thank you. And it was awful when I was in the food, and it still can be up in my head. I am in no way no longer an addict. That's not gone. But what happened for me, and I want to spend a bit of time talking about, I was somehow miraculously I was 12-stepped, and this is my first fellowship. I've never been in another fellowship. I was too ashamed to go into others at that time, and yet again another grey sheet angel. I mean, you're all angels. Saw me. I think they saw inside of me. I'm not talking about the outer. They saw the pain I was in, and they mentioned GreySheeters Anonymous. I'd heard of other eating programs, too ashamed to go. I'd considered other fellowships as well, but for some reason, this one came at the right time, in the right place, the right point in my life, and I think that is a higher power for me. And in I walked to these meetings, and I sobbed and I sobbed and I sobbed because I couldn't believe I was hearing my story. I had never ever heard my story, because and I still am. I was special. I was unique, and I was and I still can be some hours, some minutes. I'm sure this morning I was very special when I woke up. And then a couple of hours later, I'm not, and I humble again. But I mean, life's a bit of a roller coaster. And I was miraculously 12-stepped, and I came into these rooms, and I found a sponsor. But I struggle. I need to say that today. No one is my higher power apart from, I call it God. I call him God. I don't know what that means to me yet, but this is a spiritual program for me. It does something different. I've been in therapy for a very long time in my life, and I've had I'm surrounded by people who love me, friends, family, but I am a compulsive overeater, and I am allergic to sugar, grains, carbohydrates, and I didn't know that until I walked into these rooms. I didn't know that other people just ate and ate and ate like me, and that humbled me and that helped me. But I need something bigger than me, and I need to look at my ego, and that's what that's what Grey Sheet and all its tools and all you wonderful people does for me. But I struggle to have a voice, having not been in another fellowship before. I thought there were all these rules and regulations, and I thought I was saying the wrong thing, and I'm in a place at the moment where just trying to speak words that are true to me. I am in the steps for the first time. I've never worked the steps, and I am deep in step 4, which I'd heard terror about, and it's horrible, but I've been in it for a really long time, and sometimes I actually feel physically sick with some of the things I have to admit about myself, but that's okay, because I still eat what I have committed. I still ring my sponsor just about. Sometimes I don't want to, but I do, because there's just no other solution. I was gonna die. I was dying, and God and abstinence saves me every day. But I struggle. I don't want to make this sound rosy. There's moments and hours where I'm not sure, but I'm beginning to find my voice. I'm beginning to find people, a higher power, a God, a spirit, something bigger than myself. The steps are absolutely helping me, and I can't describe it more than that. but also weighing and measuring my food. 5, thank you, thank you. And so therefore, I want to give a positive pitch as well, as so many people, as so many of you have taught me, that around the tools that GreySheet gives me. I outreach. That has become incredibly important part of my program. If I'm not outreaching, if I'm not humbling myself, and also if I'm not listening to others, and letting others, and I mean letting others listen to me, because I'm awful at that. I want other people to perceive me in a certain way. I have no control over that. I just need to be and trust in something bigger than me. So I outreach, I pray and meditate every day. And I've begun also talking to God most of the time. I wouldn't be in this program if I hadn't lost over 10 stone and be in a body healthier than I've ever known, and actually have a body. I didn't know I had one. I had layers and layers and layers of blubber, as I call it, that kept me very warm. I'm cold. But now I help myself. Well, and you all help me, and higher power helps me. So I think about things like, if I wash my hands, then I'll have warm under hot water. I could have a hot water bottle. I could wear thermals. I've never thought about these things. These are the thoughts that come to me. I don't know where from, because I've never thought of looking after my body, because I didn't have one. Earlier I was reading, I don't know whether you have it in other countries, which is another joy of GreySheet, because we're all over the world. I was thinking about having the flu jab. When have I ever thought about that? I don't know whether I will or not, but so I have this body that I can also look at, but more importantly than that, I can feel. And I mean that in a sensory way, in a physical way, but I feel my feelings in a different way, and I hear my thoughts. I'm even feeling a little bit lightheaded now, saying this all to you. And I think, oh, what does that mean? Doesn't matter what it means. Let it go. I'm safe. I'm okay. And I'm safe. I'm safe because I weigh and measure my food, and I make sure it says what it's meant to say on the scales. Um, I, yeah, finding the words is really new for me. My own words, not other people's. I just been on. How can I think another thing to share is I'm just back from a holiday. I didn't want to take my addiction with me. I was really, really resentful. You all helped me through it, as did my prayer and my meditation. And I still went to meetings. I didn't want to go to meetings on holiday, but I still went. And I went to the same place that I went to when I was counting days. And I found myself walking up hills lightly. And I don't mean that just physically, I mean internally. I was light. I don't know whether this makes any sense. Well, it makes sense to me, and that's what matters. Thank you, Joel. It makes sense to me. I'm lighter. And that is one of the many, many gifts that the tools of GreySheet, coming to my meetings, doing my oracles, doing what my sponsor tells me, even though I don't want to, because I know best. I'm right. Everyone else is wrong. And I have to work hard to catch that. And I have to know. Oh, I always have to know. And I'm just trying to let that go. So that's a bit about my experience, strength, and I hope there's some hope in there. I'm very grateful for you all for listening. I haven't qualified for a while. You've all done me a huge favour by listening to me. I'm still feeling lightheaded, and I hand over to all of you. But don't eat no matter what. Thank you, everyone.